So it looks like another Wild Book series is getting a movie deal. The amount of privilege white people get is crazy. Because what do you mean this book series is getting a movie deal? Ignore the half Nigerian daughter. We're focusing on the contents of the books. What do you mean that this book series is getting a movie deal? Out of all the books, this was the one you decided yes. Now, basically, the House of Nice series focuses on Zoe Redbird, a quarter Cherokee woman who gets chosen to be a high priestess of ancient vampires because her ancestor happened to be a sex toy trap for the goddess she's worshipping's second husband, Kelowna. Her main goal is to lock up Neferet, another high priestess, and to defeat the darkness and bring light to the world. Despite the fact that her goddess is Nyx, the goddess of the night, and her main husband is Erebus, the god of darkness. Before we get into it, let's have a moment of silence for Native Americans during the vampire and werewolf era. Alright, let's get into the reasons why this adaptation will not make it out. The series is a rape apology series. For example, Zoe's vampire boyfriend Stark is a serial. He has mind control powers and used them to manipulate women and girls into letting their guard down so he could rape them. He gets with Zoe and all of a sudden, he's no longer guys. He said sorry. This man didn't apologize to any of his victims, and one of them is living in the same building as him and is in class with him too. Zoe and her nerd herd, they're not nerds. Don't know why they call themselves that. But they try to force the victim to forgive him, and when she says no and brings up the fact that nothing was consensual because he was literally controlling her mind, they literally victim blame her and call her a prostitute. Mind you, Stark is about 200 years old at this point, and Becky is a teenager. And they try to claim that he was being controlled by Neferet, but he was already a serial rapist before meeting her. Oh, also apparently, guys, there's a rumor going around in the book. I don't know if it was a rumor or if it's true. Wasn't the dude Jack the Ripper or something? Or was he hanging with Jack the Ripper? Regardless, he has an association with Jack the Ripper, so I feel like that's enough. Next up, we have Kelowna, Nyx's second husband. He was kicked out of the other world because he was jealous. And that's not his fault, because Nyx literally made him like that. Anyways, while on Earth, he bumps into the Cherokee people and he decides, you know what, I'm going to make every single person here my sex slave. And he did that. He did that. So the results of this are his Raven Marker children. He apparently has like thousands of them, and he makes them rape other people too. So, guys, this poor tribe is trapped in a cycle of violence because one man couldn't handle a woman saying, hey, deal with your anger issues before coming home. Anyways, he eventually gets trapped by a sex doll that the Cherokee made to trap him, and a child is born from that sex doll. Years later, the descendant of that sex doll is Zoe. Kelowna finds a way to escape, like literally centuries later. And after he escapes, he stalks and attempts multiple times Zoe because he thinks Zoe is Aya, the sex doll that was made to trap him. I think maybe he didn't learn his lesson, guys. It seems to me like he didn't learn his lesson because what do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, yeah, so at some point while reading the books, I don't know when this happened, but he changed his mind about harming Zoe and then he decides to stop being a rapist. Bruh. And anyone who feels unsafe around him and doesn't forgive his past, despite the fact that he has thousands of children from this and the children are continuing the cycle of violence, yeah, they're a slut, guys. Yeah, if you don't forgive a rapist, you're a slut. And the goddess commands you to forgive and allow them near you. Mad. Alright, next reason. Everyone is a stereotype with no personality. Damien is gay. Shawnee is a token black girl and the worst type ever. She's got good hair. All blondes are rich, stupid, beautiful, and vain. Guys, this author hates blondes to an unnatural extent. She calls all of them sluts, even if all they're doing is combing their hair. Justice for Zoe's older sister.
Wait, why?
My class is why then?
All the guys in the book apparently wants Zoe. But when she rejects them, they become evil and they get possessed, literally possessed, by the spirit of evil. Justice for all the rejected men, and justice for Eric too, because he was right. Ain't no ways you're dating this girl. And then she tells you, no, I want to take time with our relationship. I want us to be cute and wholesome. And you're like, yeah, let's be cute and wholesome together. And then after class, you're looking for your girlfriend. You're excited. You want to go see her. Boom, she's the teacher. He is not wrong. Eric had every right to be like, nah, Zoe, you're her. Because not only was she a teacher, she also was trying to keep Heath, her human boyfriend, nearby. Justice for Eric. He had no reason to be possessed by the darkness because he was right. That was, ooh. And you know what, guys? The villain of the book, right? Yes, it's Neferit, but it's mostly the darkness. The darkness is not wrong. The darkness is literally not wrong because while I was reading the book, right, and I saw the reason why people were getting possessed, on the one hand, I was like, damn, the darkness doing its thing. But on the other hand, I was like, he's not wrong because why the did you do that? Eric getting possessed by the darkness makes a lot of sense because, girlie, you cheated on him with your teacher and a random ass human that you imprinted on. What the And then, oh my days. Like, the people that got possessed by the darkness, I'm not even gonna lie, 90% of them had justifiable reasons. I too would have went into the darkness if you're gonna gaslight me about forgiving my... No. Because here's the thing, Becky, poor Becky, guys, no, like, poor Becky. She literally was a victim of stalk. This girl got... And then 2 minutes later, the main character of the book kisses the... and says, I forgive you, therefore everybody else must forgive you. I would join the darkness too, and I would do everything in my power to kill every single person. Because there's no ways you're telling me that our goddess, the goddess of light, the goddess of love, the goddess of hope, would allow such a thing to happen. If the goddess did not allow such a thing to happen, she would have popped up. But here's the thing, she didn't even pop up to stop her ex-husband Kalona. She did not pop up to stop the ex-husband Kalona. So I know very well she was not going to pop up for this girl. Because how long did it take for the Cherokee to get an answer from Nyx? That's the crazy part. By the time Aya the sex doll was made, it's been how many centuries with Kelowna terrorizing those poor people? They were being terrorized, my days. It had been centuries. So I know very well the goddess does not care about, because she would have popped up as soon as Kelowna did the first one. She would have said, nah. Because here's the thing, she popped up when this motherfucker murdered. That's how the vampires were made. The vampires were made, if you read The Fall of Kelowna, the vampires were made because Kelowna accidentally killed one of the Cherokee women. And Nyx was like, they're my special tribe. I love them a lot. So therefore, I'm going to save this girlie by making her become my child of the night. That's how we got the first vampire. So my thing is, if you had the ability to intervene to make vampires from Kelowna killing one human person, you should have done something about the thousands of that he was doing. You should have struck him down. You could have... She had the power to unmake him. She could have went back to Gaia and be like, hey, Gaia, remember the husband that you made me? Yeah, fix him. I'm gonna need you to knock him out, put him to sleep, wipe his memories, take out that possessive part that I asked you to put it in. I'm so sorry for that. And then, back to normal. Made him a normal person that respects people. Or something. Or she could have just killed him once, and then remade a new one. Because that's never stopped her. Anyways, I'm going off of a tangent. If Nyx was actually a good goddess, she would have never allowed these things to happen. Because the people that went to the darkness because of Nyx's hypocrisy. If you were a goddess of good, you wouldn't have turned a serial rapist into a vampire. What are the qualifications? Because in the book, it says that the qualifications was that you have to save someone or sacrifice your life, have a love and care for humanity and all that other stuff. Stark was already Jack the Ripper before he became a vampire. So my question is, now what? How did most of the people in this book series become vampires? And also, there is a united nation of vampires, but no one seems to be listening to the Africans when they say cut them heads off. And I hate how the African vampires were being dismissed when they said cut them heads off, because how the could you have let this go on for this long? And my thing is, if the African vampires are not getting punished because they are the ones that are actually standing on business and they're the ones that have actually dealt with their enemies and dealt with their problems, then what's stopping the Americans? Because this thing of, oh, but the goddess would want us to forgive people. Zoe literally killed 2 random black people because they were black. And I'm supposed to sit here and be like, the goddess cares about forgiveness. Those dudes were 2 normal drunk dudes walking down the street, catcalling like any other person, and you said, toss them in front of a truck. And she did. And I'm like, girlie, if you can do that, then what's stopping you from killing Neferet?
And so we don't have the capacity.
You're telling me that the humans have found out that bullets can take vampires down. But every time the humans try to shoot the vampires, you're gonna make a shield? Never. Everybody needs to be questioned. I refuse to believe. Anyways, we keep it pushing, right? Next. There are so many slurs in this book. It was outrageous, even for a book from the early 2000s. I have never seen such in my life. Is this an American thing? Because I'd never seen so many slurs in my life. 1 every 4 chapters is fine, but every second sentence is crazy. Even for the early 2000s, this is crazy. Not even books written in apartheid had this many slurs. Now, the main character, Zoe, is a Mary Sue. She's the wildest Mary Sue I'd ever seen in my life. We can't even call her a Mary Sue, because even they had some sort of a personality. This is Zoe Redbird. She's herself. She's herself. This girl, she is not like other girls. She's not like other girls to the point where not like other girls seems light compared to her. She's not even like her own mother. I know genetics is wild, but there's no ways your whole family, aside from the stepfather and the child that comes from the stepfather, there's no ways your whole family is blonde with blue eyes and the Cherokee gene only appeared with you. No. 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 Your mother's mother is a full-blooded Cherokee, yet you're the only one that took the gene. She is not like other girls. She's not even like her own family members, guys. But hey, man, she's not a slut that sleeps around, despite having 3 boyfriends at the same time and is cheating on them with the teacher that groomed her. She's not even a regular teen. She doesn't know how technology works, despite having the newest iPhone at the time. Her Cherokee blood makes her exotic and special, which is wild. Here's the thing, right? You're telling me that the reason Nyx chose her is because her Cherokee blood is what makes her exotic and special, because she has like ancient blood and stuff like that, right? There's no ways Zoe is the only native person that got turned into a vampire. Considering that the first person who was a vampire was a Native American, there's no ways. Zoe is not the only descendant of Aya, the sex doll. Because her mom could have been chosen, technically. Her sister could also have been chosen. Her grandma. Her grandma can't be the only kid. There's no ways, no. She can't be the only Cherokee that gets turned into a vampire. That's absolutely wild. But hey, she's not like other girls, so that's why she got chosen. Anyways, she goes around collecting power upgrades like they're McDonald's toys. First of all, her tattoo is fully colored in. When everybody else's tattoo is not colored in, she gets chosen and she's immediately a full vampire, like a full vampire, like adult. She's not a fledgling or anything because her vampire is fully colored in. Her tattoo. Your tattoo only becomes fully colored in when you pass the stage of being a fledgling and now you're a full-blooded vampire. Which also confuses me because the fledglings are drinking blood, right? But apparently they're not full vampires. So now my question is, if they're not full vampires, why are they drinking blood? Are they getting used to the taste? If they're able to bite other people and they're able to imprint on them, how does that make them fledgling? I don't know. I feel like there should have been like some limitations on the fledglings aside from your tattoo's not colored in. Yeah. And let's not forget she's a 17-year-old dating all these adult men, hey. The only non-adult person that she dated was Heath the human and Eric Knight the vamp. Actually, how old is Eric Knight? We don't know. And we'll never know because the timing of the book is mad. So apparently, everything in the book took place within 6 to 8 months. Not a single soul celebrated their birthday. There was no happy birthday to you in the book. We never had that once. All 12 of these books were within 6 to 8 months. People died. People's bodies were possessed. People's souls were moved to new bodies. A few people were groomed and ungroomed. Multiple rapists were forgiven for their centuries, hundreds of years of terror. Within 2 weeks, a bird became a human. Magic spells were cast. Some people legit went to heaven and back. The United Nations of Vampires took place, and not a single soul graduated high school. You know what that means? That means that every week and a half, something was happening. She mastered her magic in 6 to 8 months. Because mind you, she didn't just have the power of spirits, right? Because if she just had the power of spirit, it would be like, oh, okay, fine. She didn't just have the power of spirit. She had spirits, air, water, earth, and fire. She had all 4 elements plus the avatar state. Anyways, Aang was 12 when he started. He had a whole year because he had Sultan's Comet, and Sultan's Comet was coming at the end of the year. I remember that. Sultan's Comet was coming in the following year. He had a whole year. A year. And his stakes were big. The whole world was gonna die. The whole world was about to be enslaved and what. Zoe does not have those stakes. This book does not have stakes. Nefret is gonna become the high priestess of the vampires. And then what? Because judging by the way the other vampires in the world move, they clearly don't care about the high priestess. They don't care about that position. Because even after Zoe became high priestess, they still did not care, nor listen to her. So I'm just here like, what exactly were the stakes? There are no stakes in this book. I feel like the only stake that was there was the fact that Nefret was somehow reviving the fledgling vampires into her own creatures of whatever. because of the red tattoos. And they become somewhat evil. I can't even say that they become evil because they were already bad people before they got this. Because we need to remember that's literally how the darkness gets to everyone. The darkness doesn't take innocent people.
Can I kiss you, baby?
No.
Because that's what Stevie Ray did when she summoned the white bull. She summoned the white bull, and the white bull was like, oh, I see some darkness in you, Rephaim. I know your father. But you know what? I'm not here for you. I'm here for your little girlfriend. Like, the darkness didn't even try to switch Stevie Ray to his side. You get what I mean? He was just like, ask me a question, I'ma answer. But remember, magic comes with the price. I'ma take some of your blood. Normal things compared to everything else. Anyways, let's hope the film does not end up in production. Let's hope nobody's writing a script. Let's hope not a single camera has been rented out. Because no. Anyways, boycott, slay, and support the Native Americans with their own stories. Peace.